My name's Eric Finch, and throughout my tech sales career, I've made tens of thousands of cold calls. There's some really great advice on YouTube and other mediums as well that talk about cold calling, blocking your time, etc. Throughout this video, I just want you to watch to the end so I can make a point on why you're overthinking cold calling and why you shouldn't have any hesitations when it comes to making cold calls, etc. Understandably, cold calling is a new skill, and when I started, even now, there are days where I just don't really feel like doing it. I still get a little anxious or nervous in the stomach. But really the way to overcome it is a few different things, and it's really just about thinking through why you're even nervous in the first place. When you actually think through it and confront it, it's so much easier to just make the dials even when you don't feel like it. Because at the end of the day, candidly, while many people can say that cold calling is dead, it's not. There's still lots of pipeline to be generated by making cold calls, and if you're an effective cold caller, you will have that much more success and much more repeatable success than many people. So look, my point being is when you really think about it, the only major things that are holding you back from cold calling, especially when you're early in your career, is the fear of mumbling, stumbling over your words, which is genuine. Also, talking about a technical product maybe you don't have as much experience with, and you're calling to a senior director who's 15 years into their career, has been working with the tool for 5+ years, and they're gonna make you look like a fool. That's a very valid concern as well. But you can combat that by educating yourself on the product, making sure that over time and repetition, when you do take those kinds of calls, because they are going to happen, you sit back, you learn, you realize the ways that you either guided the conversation to maybe a too technical of a place, or the things that you didn't know about the product that you could have known in that call that would have made it go much better. And honestly, while we never think about it this explicitly, if you actually sit yourself down and just let yourself think through this, I think especially early in your career, there's the added pressure of feeling like every time you're hung up on or every time you lose a conversation that doesn't go to a meeting, you're failing against your quota, you're not making money. All these things that at the end of the day shouldn't matter when you're just trying to have a conversation and provide value to a prospect. And lastly, I think the biggest thing is the fear of rejection. Yes, not everyone can be in sales, and not everyone likes spending their day making 2 hours of calls getting hung up on. And that's very genuine. That's a separate conversation of you already deciding to go the path of sales and not being willing to constantly make cold calls. But that being said, in summary, and I appreciate it if you've made it this far because I'm gonna make a very important point here, there are a lot of things that if you just think through really don't matter when you actually give them a little bit of time to think through. Whether it's, if you're nervous about selling a technical product to technical people, that means you just need to educate yourself more and you need to take the action to do that. But also, if you're early in your career and you feel like every call is going to make or break your career, you've got to get out of that headspace and you can't worry about the quota attainment, the dollar amount that's coming to your pocket, etc. But lastly, on the fear of rejection, this is the point that I think so many people overthink, especially when you're early in your career. You feel like if you stumble on a call, if someone hangs up on you, you're a fool and you're an idiot. But I would ask you a simple question, which is, what is my first and last name? Because I said it at the very beginning of this video, and my point being is every time you call and introduce yourself and get hung up on or make yourself look like a fool, within 5 minutes, that prospect has forgotten your name, forgotten that you even exist. So there is literally no reason you should be hesitant when making cold calls. So I hope that helped. Have a great week. We will see you next time.